Hello YouTube, this is RV Tips for people with physical limitations. So we're hanging around here in my Winnebago tonight, and I can hear the drip 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 of a roof leak, which is a terrible thing to have. It ruins your stuff, it ruins your walls, it ruins your furniture. It's just bad. So I'm going to go ahead and track it down and we'll figure out what to do about it. I think it's somewhere behind me, so let's go have a look. Okay everybody, I tracked the roof leak down to a cabinet way back in the corner of the camper here. It's coming down the back wall. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's coming right down through here. So the most important thing to do when you find a roof leak is the first thing is containment. Sometimes that means putting a bucket down, but in this case I can't get under it with a bucket, so I'm just going to cram a roll of paper towels up in there to soak it up in the meantime until tomorrow, and I can figure out what to do about it. I also put up some fans up here that I'm going to keep blowing back up in the corner there to also help keep it dried out until we can get this mess straightened out. So tomorrow we'll go outside and take a look and see why this is leaking. But in the meantime, hopefully this will keep things dry underneath. Alright YouTube, it's time to start looking for the leak in the roof. It's pretty cold today. It's about, right around 0. You can see back there my dog is wearing his coat today to make sure he stays warm while we're checking out this leak. So I'm going to head around here, around the front and towards the back here of the camper. I think I see the problem here. Let me see if I can show you guys. And as we get the camera up here, we can really see what's going on. This bunch of ice here is where the leak is inside, and we appear to have a leaking seam along the edge of the roof here where it meets the wall. That's definitely leaking down inside there, so now we'll figure out what to do. Alright everybody, I'm here with my doggy there, and I'm going to explain how I'm going to go ahead and seal up that roof seam that's leaking in my camper. First thing I'd like to do is clean out the seam itself, any old sealant or any gras-du, as well as put a scoring on the aluminum. I'm going to like to use this DeWalt here, drill with a circular spinning wire brush. It'll clean that seam right out, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in new sealant along the seam itself, and then over the top, just to be sure, I'm going to go ahead and put some of that the super sticky tape that you get in your roofing aisle along the seam itself, just to make sure the whole thing is all sealed up. Okay everybody, I'm getting ready to go up and start fixing the roof seam here. I wanted to talk a little bit about what my physical problems are, because there was a little bit of misunderstanding in my last video about when I'm talking about myself versus when I'm talking about what other people might gain from my videos. Just real quick about me, I've had my lower back surgically fixed, so it's a little, I got to be careful with that, carrying weights. I've had my neck, I've had a double fusion up there, so again I have to be careful with some of my movements. Late last year I had the nerve, my ulnar nerve, decompressed and moved back to where it should be a few months back, so I'm being real careful and have a weight limit on this arm. I'm having this ulnar nerve decompressed and moved back up where it goes next week, so my next video I'll probably be in a sling. But that's kind of the stuff going on with me, and it leads to numbness and pain in my hands and weakness, and I have trouble grabbing stuff. So that's kind of the stuff going on with me. So when you hear me talk about my stuff, that's what it is. If I say something like, oh, if you're somebody with a dislocated shoulder or bad knees, I'm talking about other people that I think might benefit from what we're doing. That being said, let's go ahead and get started on the roof seam. And right away I spot a problem. I'd love to use my big old DeWalt here. You know, it's real powerful, and it would take all the residual old caulking compound off of the seam and get a nice scoring into the aluminum to apply the new caulking compound and the super sticky tape we're going to use. But I can't use this. It's too big. I can't hold on to the ladder while I'm using this thing. It was just turning it on there for a second was a little sketchy because, you know, I can't feel these fingers. So I can't use this. So right away I have to do a substitution. I am going to instead get out my Dremel tool. And this is my Dremel tool. It's got a little teeny wire brush on the end of it. And it's going to take longer to use this, but it's just going along a seam, and it should clean it out, and it's going to be a lot safer to try to use than my electric drill. So I'm going to head up there and start to use this. Okay, so here we are up here. I got the Dremel. I'm getting ready to go ahead and get this roof seam cleared out. You can see as far as I made it this fall, and I need to keep on going back to fix the leaky roof. So here goes. Whoa, whoa, oh boy, that's not going to work either. That's just not safe. I'm gonna end up at the very least messing up my project, and with a good chance of just messing up my hand or having it break or drop it or something, because that's more than I can actually handle at this point in my life. Hopefully next summer maybe, but not now on the power tools. So I have a backup to this backup. Let me reach over behind me here. This is steel wool. And again, this will take even longer than that, so it's a slower route, but you know, it's something I can do just like this. Just like this, with this bad hand, not even using my good hand, using my bad hand, and it takes a while, but I get this old caulking compound off and get a nice bite in the aluminum for the new sealant when I apply it. And again, it's just your basic steel wool. You can get it at any grocery store or your superstore, and that's how I'm going to end up taking the old sealant off and getting this cleaned up and ready to go so we can fix it before it snows the next time. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then we'll talk about putting the sealant on. But again, it's good if you're not sure about using a power tool, just don't use it. Safety first. Either do a solution like this or maybe get a friend or a family member to help you. It's not worth getting even more hurt for. So if you have arthritis or something like that, even just don't even do it. It's not worth getting hurt. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we'll seal the seam in just a minute. Okay, here we are at the roof seam up here on the camper. I'm getting ready to seal it up after getting it cleaned out, and I just ran into another problem. As you can see, this is the big caulking gun that a person would use. However, with my hand the condition it's in, like I described with the power tools, I can't actually wield this, much less do it one-handed while I'm holding onto the ladder, or even two-handed. I probably couldn't get it where I need to get the caulking compound in the seal here. So to get around this, I actually found something wonderful at the local superstore. It's caulking compound in a spray can, and all you do is shake it up and cut the little tip off, and it's ready to go. It goes right in here, as you can see, goes right on there, and you can go ahead and do the whole seam like that using one finger. Even my messed up wrist and my messed up arm can go ahead and get this job done before I have surgery, and I won't be able to get up on the ladder probably for a while. So I'm in sort of a hurry to get this done, and the caulking compound in a can has made it so that I can get it done. Now the next thing we got to do is put on the sticky tape. Okay everybody, here we are kind of at the last phase of our roof seam repair. I have the super sticky tape here. There's really not a whole lot to say about the sticky tape. It's pretty easy to put on. You just got to be careful you get it in the right spot because it's super sticky. You pick it up down at the hardware store or your local RV store, or even the superstore might have some. And you just be careful where you put it on. And it is another barrier on top of the caulking compound to keep the water on the outside of my Winnebago. So once this is down, we will be finished with the roof seam repair job. Only one last thing to discuss. Alright everybody, I have one last tip before
we finish this video up. It's probably going to make some of you cringe at first. This is duct tape, as you can see, and normally you don't want to fix your camper with duct tape. But if you find yourself with a leaky roof seam, like I did, where there's water coming in and running down through your cabinets and ruining your stuff, or if you're out in the forest and a branch falls on your camper and pokes a little hole in it, or maybe if somebody throws a football through your window accidentally, if you're carrying some of this outdoor duct tape, you can make a temporary patch, and it can save your vacation. It can save the stuff in your camper. Here, let me show you kind of what I did. Alright, so here is the last of my duct tape patch. I've been taking it up since I started the repair and working my way back and around. Here's the last little piece of it. As you can see, it is duct tape. Alright, as you can see, I just went ahead and used strips of this duct tape and layered it on a little bit, and that gave me enough time to gather my material so that I could do the job right. So that's my last tip, is carry some duct tape, and it'll be a temporary patch till you can fix it, or until you can get it into the garage and get the professionals to fix it. Either way, it'll keep your stuff dry. Alright, that was it for this episode. I hope maybe it could help you out if you develop a leak of your own. Please stay tuned for the next episode that'll be coming soon, and it's going to be ladder safety. Anyway, thanks a bunch for watching. Feel free to hit like below if you like the video. If you want to see more of my videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And you can pass it on to your friends as well if you think they like it or they might benefit from it. Thanks a bunch. I'll see you next time.